it is absolutely astonishing just how unfinished this episode was for JJK. It is just truly jaw-dropping because, if you don't know, the episode of JJK that had the Sukuna versus Mahoraga was remastered, put on a Blu-ray, and then showcased in Japanese theaters. And I believe, because the footage is now coming out today, it released today in Japan. And, my god, like, just, I'm going to play the scenes, okay? I'm just going to show the scenes, and I'll let you guys just see the core difference. And before I go any further, this is obviously from, I'm assuming a phone and all that, but it just straight up shows the difference of just the actual original TV broadcasting release to the finished product when the animators were actually able to sit down and dedicate time and actually finish the product. And I'll let you guys see the difference, okay? So keep it in mind, though, that the finished product is through a little camera for a phone, so it's gonna look a little bit crusty, but you gotta look at just the way it is presented in the frames that are added, etc., just how different it is from the original broadcasting. So here's the original broadcasting. I'm gonna have to mute the audio, obviously, but just watch the frames here and just how different this is from the finished product. So, as you can see here, this is when, Sukuna is about to finish off, Mahoraga. He's using Fuga. You see this frame here. It looks really good. Everybody loved this little scene. In the anime, I loved it. You see the entire obliteration of the town. You see the destruction of Shibuya. And obviously, the scene is dimmed because, it's just, that's what they have to do. That's law in Japan. They have to dim it for, epilepsy and stuff like that. So, it makes perfect sense. We knew that was going to be changed with the BD. But obviously, there's a lot more fundamental differences than that. But basically, it's a very brief frame, and I think that the reason why I'm showing this frame is because it really does just showcase just how different the two are. Now, there's a lot more to talk about, but I think this is an obvious example. So this is the finished product, and here you go. I'm going to mute that, but look at the difference. You can already see much more movement and refinement in this frame here with the flame here with Sukuna, and then look at this, the destruction of the city, the added scenes here, and then the explosion. So let's back this up again. I'll let you see it once again. So once again, this is literally the frame here. You'll literally see the differences of how Sukuna is drawn here. Like, you can see Sukuna is not finished. The drawing of him is just it's a silhouette, and that's basically it, and it looks very framey. And then if you go back to this scene here and watch it, you could just straight up see the difference. It's not as framey. Like, you could see that. You can actually see Sukuna. It doesn't look like, how it is here, and the flame effect looks just more vivid, along with the background as well, is way more vivid, as you can see. And once again, there's so much more frames here than actually the original release of it, to also the destruction of the city here, because when this happens, you can see this is that the destruction is just there. It's just it's brief, it's dimmed, and there it is. It's just the finished touches there is actually kind of ridiculous. But to kind of talk more about that, there is way more frames. This is new stuff here. You'll see straight up Sukuna and Mahoraga just brawling and all that, and there's a full-on fist fight they're doing here. It is actually ridiculous, some of the frames that are added within this. Now, there's extensions to some scenes, and it goes to show just how unfinished the episode was. And I'm just dude, this reestablishes the point many of us have made on this topic already, and myself included, that it's just imagine how good JJK Season 2 would have been if it had a better production schedule. Imagine if there was more time given to the staff. And just looking at this episode and this finished product, I doubt, even with all this and just how gorgeously animated all this is truly what the full 100% vision of the episode was. I feel like this is close to what it should have been, but I think that, this is more or less of how, technically, if everything was working right in the world and MAPPA didn't have really bad production issues, that this is probably how the episode would have released for TV broadcasting, and then the episode would have been made even better with maybe a Blu-ray release. And so imagine how a Blu-ray release episode of this would have been if this was the original TV broadcasting version. It would be actually ridiculous. And it's just And it once again just shows me like, just like, imagine if JJK would have been given more time. If it had more time to cook in the oven, how good its episodes would have been. Because it's like, after seeing this very janky recording alone, it just demonstrates just how good it could have been. And it was already astounding. I think it speaks for itself, despite all the issues and fundamental problems with the production behind the scenes of the anime, that the anime was making waves. It was the talk of the town. Everybody was talking about JJK. Let's not begin to deny that. It was always trending. It was always being talked about. Everybody's talking about it on YouTube. It exploded in popularity, even more than it already was. And just, the anime was really good. And even despite the flaws, it was huge. Imagine if these episodes came out like this. Like, just, I could not even begin the craze that JJK would have had after some of these episodes. But, yeah, I wanted to talk about this. It's just like, we finally got a true glimpse at what JJK Season 2 was supposed to look like. And, damn. I'm gonna have to buy the BD. Like, I'm gonna have to buy the BD just to be able to see this in full 100% true quality, because, like, the janky phone recording does not do this clip justice. It does not. And even with the jankiness, I can already see just how vastly different, to the additional scenes of the footage, to just like how it looks in color-wise, that it is leaps and bounds way beyond the original release of it. And that's mind-blowing, especially with just how gorgeous this episode was to begin with, even with obviously not enough time for it. But I'm going to leave it at that. I wanted to talk about this because I know there is a lot of people that were completely unaware of this clip releasing today, and it kind of took me by surprise when I sat down and watched it. But if you have not seen it, I'll link to this clip in the description down below. You can check it out for yourself with the audio and everything. There's a lot of footage added to it, so be prepared for that. It's going to shock you quite a bit. I really suggest someone doing a side-by-side comparison. I would like to see a video of a side-by-side comparison of the actual original broadcasting with that, just to show all the added additional features. When there is a full release, like the BD actually comes out, and, we actually get to put the side-by-side comparison, I can't wait to see someone do a video of that, just showcasing the complete fundamental differences. But okay, I'm leaving it at that. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a like. It does help me out a lot, and I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.